Hey there, everybody. Gonna play my first match of this season against my opponent in the last match of the past few seasons. So we're playing Marcus. This board is looking a little moneyish, or highly moneyish. There's just no way to get the city thing online in time with the salty earth going on and everything. So the only question, I guess, is your opener. Well, I suppose I should say the first question is your opener. I mean, it looks like Jack is easy. The 3 is maybe a little tougher because you could get smugglers, but I kind of like the silver, I think. Smugglers, of course, has this collision risk, and the upside is maybe not all that huge at this stage in the game, although later on it might be a little bit better. Certainly this is going to favor the person who gets ahead quickly because of the salty earth. Its ability to kind of close out the game if you have a province lead, though of course there'll be some risk in taking those depending on the exact score. Hopefully I have an estate on top. Well, actually, hopefully I have a copper on top and draw an estate. Okay, so I whiff here, so I'm going to actually have a pass on this next turn. The gold is fine, of course. Not hitting anything with my jack is not great. So I think I do like the vault, so I'll probably take one here. This jack does hit. He might play a vault, in which case I'll get to cycle a little bit more. I guess I can toss the estate. Because there's another one in there, which I'm guaranteed to get to. So that's all fine. He isn't trashed in the estate either. I didn't actually notice that. I find that a little hard to believe it, unless he's choosing not to play, not to do it, which I suppose is possible, though it seems pretty unlikely. Now this is all just like green, though this first one is not ideal. Probably take another vault. He must have just had bad jack draws as well, as far as pairing that up. I guess I'm also going to take a second vault. Hopefully I've got a gold on top here. That didn't happen. So now we're really going to be kind of extremely like, it'll be hard to miss. I'm not going to play that because it'll just help him. It would be kind of nice to cycle, but probably it won't matter. He'll probably have a province anyway. Hopefully we find another silver or a gold here. I'm not going to discard to it because I think it's better just to have the cards. In this case, he'll have province. So we miss province, which actually is quite bad here. Probably game losing, or close to it anyway. I mean, it's not quite that bad, but this is missing the whatever this bottom card here is, probably game losing. We're just getting not really very friendly draws. I could think about annexing. I don't really know what annex. It won't work now. It won't work particularly well now. Oh, I forgot to join the... He salts a province, which is interesting. I think I'd just take a duchy. I mean, if I don't find my vault, I'm gonna be out of luck. Anyway. I would certainly take a tie if he offered one here. I'm gonna probably take the province. If I knew what my last card was, I could probably play the jack instead. If I choose to duchy dance. If I choose to duchy dance, I could certainly have I wonder if we should have had tunnels like way sooner. So he's going to be able to set up more or less a guaranteed province. It's of course possible for me to figure out if there's like a copper left in here. There's not a copper. Then the other question is if there's a silver. There's the 2 silvers. I think I've played the jack just twice, but I bought one. There's a 3rd silver. There's a 4th silver. Oh wait, I'm double counting these. There's 2 of them. That's the same one. There's a 3rd one. Didn't I play jack? I also have however many golds. How many golds do I have? 3 golds, I think. This is stupid. I shouldn't really be doing this. There's 2 of them. There's a 3rd one. I think I have to play the vault, though. It's probably a treasure. I don't really know. Yeah, it was a treasure. It was a silver. I can shuffle a gold back into my deck, I guess. No, that doesn't really work. How does annex look? No, this is dumb. This doesn't really matter. So I should have just played the jack. I would have helped a lot in the duchy dancing because it would have added a silver to my deck and I wouldn't have lost my vault and my gold, of course. But I at least have a vault in hand here, which helps considerably. So it's not very promising for the next couple hands. Yeah, I mean, I could obviously, I was not reading something right, or I just miscounting the. Oh yeah, I knew I had 3 jack plays because I trashed 2 estates and so I was just missing the silver. The copper was on the shuffle, but the copper was on the shuffle, but the silver was the last card. I'm gonna for sure take a annex here. I just have to. trying to figure out how much garbage do I have in the deck. The jack is pretty much garbage, these two are good, so I don't really want the coppers back in particularly. I never really remember how Annex works. Is it up to? Oh, it's up to 5. So I could have maybe used it later, but it was up to 5. This is my first tunnel hit. Well, I had only just added the tunnel before the shuffle, I guess. So that's not surprising, really. See if he takes his province here. He does not. So I'm going to be able to... I do have province now. Are we just going to go all the way down on the tunnels too? I mean, we can. It's strange. At what point do you kind of decide to take the province? Like if you know they don't have the vaults. We're not going to miss on a tunnel. I guess I only have 8, so I can't really take the province anyway. I was thinking the silver made up for it, but it doesn't because I was also down a card. Now we're going to get lots of golds. This is not... Oh, so he gets a tunnel lead. I didn't quite think of that. So I probably should have just taken the province when I had it last time. Now I can't really take it, or it's not great. He would have to whiff on 3 for this to pan out for me, right? He's going to have the points lead. I'm going to tie up, then he's going to take 38. And I cannot really catch him on his states. This is stupid. This is not going to be the timing to do it, but... I shouldn't have been dancing really anyway. Oh well. I made some bad choices there. It was going to be a little hard to win from second player there anyway, but still not very clean on my part at a few points. That's okay. This has got Tomb, plenty of engine stuff between Herald and Chariot Race and Vandekamp, and there's a little drawn moat. So that all looks pretty unskippable. I guess the question is whether you go with like a remodel with your catapults or not. It's gonna be this was a great draw for me. Do need to get some bandit camps. Which makes a silver at least possible. I guess you can just advance a mode or something. Hopefully his remodel either missed the shuffle or doesn't have an estate. He goes with the second catapult, which is fine. I'm gonna have a bit of a tough maybe. Nope. I do not. Okay, so he's at it. That's awesome. That's fine. Do I want to attack him or do I want to get the Herald more? The Heralds, of course, are quite nice. I mean, I'm moving along here. There's at least a chance that the catapult attack doesn't really hurt him that much, I guess, is maybe the way to put it. I'm not at all confident of this particular course of action, I guess. But of course I've so far drawn quite well. Oh, he had a moat. I am regretting a little bit the turn where I didn't get the Herald. I think they're probably just a little bit better. But that's life. I'm probably going to put the estates into the shuffle. They should be a little bit better. To have in there than the coppers. Unless, of course, I immediately draw and play the remodel. Well, I'll get a moat. That'll be fine. I get a bandit camp. Or a thing. I'll buy Herald. I will not overpay. I don't want to spoil in my deck. Or in my... Is it top deck? I don't want to spoils on my deck. This all looks okay. He's got the 2 bandit camps, which are fine. At some point, we'll probably need a horse traders. This is almost a who's of things that are a little bit scary to play with Herald. My Heralds have still not quite done the nice things I want them to do ever. Well, I had one turn that was pretty favorable. Just keeping this because I would like to buy a thing if I can. That's last spoils. This is not ideal because I would really rather buy the Herald, I think. Now hopefully we get a little bit of draw here. I think he still has another catapult, so. A reasonably good shot at, well, it doesn't matter now because I am not hitting actions with those heralds to save my life. And I feel like I'm reasonably well trashed, but it is not happening for sure. So we split the heralds actually, which is unfortunate. There's a remodel down in here, and then, well, I guess I'm assuming that this is all my heralds. Maybe there's another herald. Of course, hitting up giant is not bad. Hitting the giant attack, I mean, of course there's moats in play, so there aren't really moats in play, they're all in the trash basically. Or most of them, or maybe he still has a couple. I'm not really sure if the giants are gonna pay off ever. There we go. Now that's the thing. There's a ticket. What did he buy? Another chariot race? Okay, that's fine. With me anyway. He's got a bandit camp. Should be a catapult down in here somewhere. I guess this isn't actually a particularly interesting choice here. Question for me is whether we go for the moat or the chariot race now. So if you're sufficiently... So I did win the Herald split. Okay, excellent. Of course, Giant, if you hit Heralds, is just like amazing. And otherwise potentially a little lackluster. The moats are certainly very, very good to have for a number of reasons. The catapult is more of a liability now. A little bit more of a liability now. The Herald should really, really have a good shots of hitting in general. We just each have one moat, so I think I will pick up the Giant. This is a safe hand, except for he probably trashes spoils. I think I'll just lose those. The only really, really bad hit would be horse traders. That would be just killer, of course. He takes a province. I'm not sure of that. Okay, now we're good. Or safe anyway from the horse traders potential issue. He reacts with moat. Okay. Obviously it would be nice to get the find the copper. I didn't find the copper. That's okay. So we could pass on the I don't think he can count on having these moats always, but I really would like to play all the spoils, so this is all fine, this hand. It sucks that he got the 2 catapult points there, but what can you do? I'm definitely playing for a longer game than he is. Though unfortunately here he's just gonna have Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. The milling of the provinces is gonna be a problem. I have to think if there is even a really reasonable path to victory for me. I mean, he could have just not a great turn, of course. That would be a one way. Or big giants or something for me. Not ideal. The chariot races last turn, that hurts a lot. Okay. That'll give us a chance to hit or to top deck a. All that does is give him a point, I guess. Anyway, that gave us a chance to top deck a Herald, although he didn't get it. So hopefully his turn sucks. That'll help. Or it should help. I think it would be hard for him to double province and mill at this stage. Maybe with a really good Herald draw he can still get there, in which case I'll just curse. But I think it's going to be pretty tough. Maybe I'm wrong. He's still holding heralds and stuff, so maybe he can just do it. Okay. I don't know what the... So he's not milling too. I should have basically no trouble getting to double province by. That's not completely true, but it should be doable anyway. The only issue will be drawing the 3 model at a bad time. That would be the fear. At least now I have the province right, so it's not such a big deal. The catapult's gone, so I think most anything I can play now is pretty safe. I will just go for the finish for sure. I already have the 3 giants, so I just have to find the horse traders basically. This should work fine. I probably ought to have played the moat a little bit sooner in there, but this is okay. So this is all finished now. I guess I should, well, it won't matter. I'm not going to trash enough. It's funny, he should technically be not auto-reacting, but it doesn't matter. He could have only gotten a couple points out of it. Yeah, you actually want that turned off at the end. Because of Tomb, but it didn't matter. Okay, so it's 1-1. Pretty well. The first board, you know, I don't mind boards like, whoops. I don't mind boards like that first board. At least the game doesn't take a long time. That game was a little more complicated, but still wasn't. We didn't play it that slow, I don't think. Maybe we did. This one is a little tougher to make it all work. So there are various ways to decrease your hand size at the start of your turn. By various ways, there are 2 amulet and pawn. Well, technically Golem drawing amulets and pawns. That would only, that would essentially just allow you to play multiple giants. Like, that would be the payoff from going to that work. But what we actually have here far more likely is a schemed storyteller thing, which should be reasonably good, I think. So the question is whether you want double amulet opening, I think. We'll see what he does. He does go with double amulet. I think I agree. So basically this silver should be really, really good here. And the trashing, of course. And the coin reasonably useful too in situations where you're worried about your first storyteller. You will want at least 1 pawn for buys, because I do think you want to go to not necessarily double province, but at least double gains. I get collision. I guess I'll just take my pawn now. So he has collision, but he gets a ghost out of it. My haunted mirror just misses a shuffle, which is really, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I can either expedition or go ahead and pick up this scheme now. This scheme is pretty underwhelming at this point, but he gets one. It is certainly a card you want in the deck. I've got some unfortunate amulet collision here. Again, it looks like it's not guaranteed, but I could guarantee it. I could do the expedition. It's pretty likely anyway. Question is, how many schemes do you want? maybe, is the question. Yeah, so here I've got some sad times. I guess I had 2 cantrips in there, so it was, well, the pawn's an optional cantrip. This is kind of awful so far. This deck is not like turning up at all, which I guess is going to happen when you this is sort of a nice buy tons of little cantrips and get burned by your on your amulet blaze. I might have it, well, no. Well, I might have a chance to get a ghost, I guess. I don't know if I will. I'm going to take silver off this amulet. He probably will, yeah, he'll be able to afford a storyteller this turn. I don't like the pawn diplomat. I mean, if he wants to go for all that stuff, more power to him. I'll let him. I don't think it's worth it, but he's ahead of me for sure. Just on the back of kind of how awful these draws have been. But, well, he had collision too. His collision was just a little bit not as bad as mine. So there's really only one. Well, the thing to buy here, the question is whether it's worth it to fool around with the ghost or not, which I'm in general not like a huge fan of ghost. I think it's just like so-so. I pretty much have all the cards I need in my deck. So now I just need to buy a storyteller. It's so much work to do this diplomat thing for, like, the terminals aren't like super great. I mean, maybe if he starts hitting me with a giant, I'll change my tune, but it might be worth it here to look for a cemetery by. And then you like ghost your dip. He's getting Golem too. That's just all way far afield to me. Like that's just way more than I want to try to attempt here. By a good deal. By a good amount, that's way more than I would ever want to try here. If I find the silver, then we can do this, but no, we don't, so. The Golem is just really a stupid buy. I'm sorry. It just does, like, in a trash deck, it's just super underwhelming. So hopefully this potion Golem detour buys me a little bit of time to get back into it, but we'll just see. I don't know. It's just like, I really dislike it, but I surely need to trash more. But I need the coins too, so maybe we can decide at the end. which to go with. There's like a pawn in there. Or something. It's just such a complex deck. And what if you draw the golem at the end of your shuffle? Then it does nothing. I mean, yeah, I guess you can say that of other things. He'll just be able to scheme it, so it's not necessarily that big of a deal. But I just don't quite see what he's going for here. I do need to get rid of more of my coppers, though, because I still just have too many. So this time I'll actually maybe commit to it. It probably is better to do it the second go. Oh no. That's not great. What do I have if I just stop with coin buy here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. That's not that exciting. I guess I should have fixed the amulet up. We're going to run into these issues here. Hopefully we find 2 silvers or something. I did not trash enough. I like my approach, but I think I've kind of botched it in a number of ways. So you need basically a deck of pure silver, or as close to that as you can get. His deck still just looks like wheel spinning to me, but it's probably going to beat mine. So that tells you how bad my deck is. Oof, that's the worst possible draw I could have gotten there. This is going to be unworkable. Yeah, this is even worse. So anyway, this is fully not gonna work. This should be okay, but I just still don't see what the diplomat's doing in these decks, but if you're playing with all these golems anyway. I mean, of course, if you just get these perfect starting draws, then that's different, but I would love to see my deck played cleaner and with better amulet shuffles, because I think it's just into the grain too fast for this thing to do anything with. At least here I'll probably draw most of the deck. He might go province scheme. No, he's building on. It's such a weird combination of things. I still just think it's kind of terrible. Okay. This is a little bit better. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it just took me so long to get to the point where I was going to be guaranteed a province a turn, which now I am, but it just took forever. And I don't know that a 2-province lead is going to cut it. With him being able to probably pick up duchies. I might be able to pick up a duchy at the end of my turns. If your Golem engine plays pawns, that's just not a good deck. I'm sorry. It's going to beat me. So again, like I said, it tells you something about how crappy my deck is too. So I'm hoping to gain 1 silver and then to trash a copper by province. Of course, every turn I'm sort of fighting this. I'm adding green as I go along too. It's so much work for not a huge amount of payoff. hope the rest of his turns look like this. I mean, I can cope with this. Is he gonna add giants? I mean, that's the kind of thing, like, if I was going to play this deck with all these engine parts, I would have added giants, because that's like the only payload that's sort of aggressive and heavy. I don't know if that would really hurt me all that much at this stage. It might, though. I wonder if I you know, at one point I was thinking about a cemetery buy, and then I kind of forgot about it. I wonder if there was a spot for it. See, it's nice with the ghosts, that's for sure. We're just gonna have to see if basically we're just gonna have to see if a 3 silver I have 3 pawns and 2 schemes, right? Yeah. Sorry, 3 province lead is enough. The pawns are okay, because at the end the pawns just can be coppers if they have to anyway. I don't think it changes the money equation, although maybe. So I could just draw the rest of this up right now. Well, I want to save a card, right? Because I want to scheme, play 1 scheme, and then the rest can be whatever. So I can't actually trash again. I mean, I'm never gonna lose my storytellers. I might lose some coppers. Or apparently haunted mirrors. This turn at least he'll have a lot of money for his first time. Never mind. Well, he'll still have quite a bit of money, but I guess he'll have all those silvers, so he'll probably be able to double province here, though it'll be a little bit tougher on the next turn with the ghost back in the deck. I don't think he can, like, triple or anything. He might be able to come back from a 5 provinces. I have the buys for it. I think it's some of the things this deck does is gonna get hard to do as he adds green to it, but it's all a bit schizophrenic. I think he has 7 pawns. Some of these pawns gotta be buys now. I mean, the hand is pretty much silvers, right? He still has a scheme he hasn't played, I think. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, he just has 1 scheme. That's it. I am missing something. I mean, of course I kind of have to. I'm willing to gamble on him not What did he flip? My haunted mirror. I mean, I'm willing to gamble on him not making it, of course. I have to. I guess once I hit I'm a little confused about how to play this. I don't want to mess it up, but I probably am going to. I mean, I have more silvers in here. I don't know if I have enough more silvers in here. Okay, we're fine on that front. We can actually trash a copper if we want to. I don't know what the last card is. It's probably a copper, right? As long as it's not green, I can draw on. All these states are in the trash. Yeah, I mean, it's not green. So I can draw on. I guess if it's a silver, I might not want to, but... whether it's worth it to trash a copper or to gain a silver, I'm not certain. Which is better. Of course, I can try and draw the curse. I don't know that that kind of points is going to make a difference, but I guess I could have been guaranteed to draw the curse somehow. So now I have a curse on top of my deck, which is super. This is looking not even that great for kicking off. That's okay-ish, I guess. I assume he's just going to make it. I mean, if he finds his storyteller, that's got to be a pretty easy win, I think. I mean, maybe it's possible for him to be short the dollar. I don't really know. I kind of think it's unlikely. He still got 2 pawns. He got his second scheme last turn, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Even if he just like he's still got diplomat too. I mean, why would you play the pawn for action buy? I guess if you've got another pawn, you save it anyway. I don't know. I assume he's going to be able to double though, right? I mean, can't he just, aren't they like all silvers? Oh, I guess they're not all silvers. I'm not sure if the Duchess helps him. Oh, he's doing it for a ghost target. I see. Well, I'm not sure the second Duchess helps him. The first one I can believe in. I mean, he's just going to get me on this next turn. For sure. Like I can promise you. What I need is salt the earth. Like he's for sure going to get me on this next turn. I'll have 29. That's easy for him to beat. Double Duchy province. Also, you won't probably even need that much because he'll attack me some. Did not find silvers. Now I did. Probably needed to stop back there actually, but this is, I think there are probably some silvers sitting down in the bottom, so this is okay. Nope, not true. He'll get the money here easy. He doesn't even need that much money. He won't need that much money after he hits some of the giant hits, I'm sure. Did he scheme? Yeah, so he's already got the storyteller, so that's pretty easy. I think I should be about, to this point where I am now, about 2 turns faster in general. Maybe not on it, maybe 1 turn on average, and maybe two or 3 turns with lucky draws. It doesn't. I don't even know what giant does. So the province will give me a curse. Like, I'm gonna get a curse anyway, almost certainly. I guess the ideal thing is to hit like a scheme or something. Well, the pawn doesn't work. Pawn's a curse as well. So a scheme is like the best outcome for me at this point, as far as the giant stuff. But it's not even gonna be close anyway. He's got a storyteller. So the giants are 6, then he just needs 5-ish silvers. And a couple pawn plays for buys. I mean, surely it's in hand. If someone listening in Discord wants to like at me and say it's in hand, I will resign. If you're not, I don't know, depending on who adds me, if I trust you. I just can't. I guess the golems toss silver, so that's sort of an issue, but no one added me, so maybe it's not in hand yet. Oh, no, there's an ad. It may be in hand. RTT let me know that it could be in hand, but he's not actually watching. I guess he's just listening to me, which is highly flattering. Or maybe he's doing other things, you know. Maybe he's just taking a nap. Well, he got his buys. Now an amulet, that I could lose. I mean, I don't know why I'm like playing for the... Did he play his other giant? He doesn't. Maybe he just has it without playing the giants? There, he got it exact. That's nice. For him. No, I hate his deck. I can't. I cannot say it enough. I think his deck, well, once you get the giants in, it's a little better, but it took so long to get the giants in. Okay, we gotta make a new table. Alright, we got it. That one took quite a while. This is not, well, there is sort of a classic combo here in Rat's Watchtower. This is sort of a weird deck. Whoa. Quite strange, quite strange. You can do I guess you can do Rat's Watchtower into like Windfall. It's probably reasonably good. I'm not sure if you'll ever... Apothecary and Shepherd kind of play nicely as far as working together to get the draw to go. I think. I don't actually know if that's true. But in any case, it allows you to filter both types of junk that you might have in your deck. But I think that's probably just not as good as going for the Rat's Watchtower and then hopefully Windfalls, and maybe if you do that, maybe you're up on the battlefield points a little bit sooner. On the other hand, on the Shepherd, you probably have a state buy you can take with a hovel. I don't know. Let's go with this thing. The trouble with he's going with the potion right off the bat. This is a pretty crappy draw for me. My rats missed. In general, it's a little bit... I would rather, myself personally, what happens first? Okay. If I had the OE, I would top deck it, for sure. As it is, I'm not so sure. These draws are not great. Probably should have just taken the rats. Not that you really want them. But like 2 of them is okay. 3 is maybe pushing it. I'm not in love with my, what gives you buy? Oh, counterfeit. Yeah, that's a thing. I've got a sort of a nonsense deck, which is fine with me. He's going with that classic counterfeit Apothecary combo. Okay, so I need to play the Patrician second, because if the Mountebank is bottom deck, that's the only way to draw it, and otherwise we draw it no matter what. Look at that. Heroic effort. Should I get a counterfeit? I should just buy province now, right? It's that classic it's that classic Apothecary Watchtower combo too. I would like to see if I find a rats. This is basically my reasoning for playing this. Look at that. we couldn't throw another watchtower on top. Wouldn't be that bad. What did he do? Well, he's not probably playing his mountebank this turn. I don't think. Maybe he is with like an apothecary. What do I still have in there? Like a conclave, so it might be worth it. Okay. Maybe I can throw both on top there. I may let shepherds later on. I feel okay about this deck as far as these things go. I should turn the mountebank autoplay off. Oh, it is off. I think most of the autoplays I keep off because it's not so much that the exceptions come up all that often, so much as it feels terrible to miss it. At least that's my perspective on it. The rats should be pretty safe, I think. My deck is actually sort of working. I'm not 100% sure why it is. But I guess I'm glad. So I already have a watchtower in there. I could put a vassal up top. I'm gonna put a conclave on top for sure. The issue, no, it should be safe no matter what. There's a patrician in there. I may take the curses, that's the only thing. If he plays his mountebank, I might take the junk this time by top decking a couple things. Does shepherd give you plus action no matter what? Yeah, so shepherd's another possibility. I don't really want to overbuild, but I feel okay about building to this degree. The vassal, of course, may have some issues with the rats later on. Shepherd would not be that awful for me, but anyway, here's what we'll do. So if he's got another apothecary, I'm probably eating the curse and stuff this time. I think my last cards are rats and watchtower. So now he's getting into the really cool thing on this board. So the vassal is going to hit something. I think the question is whether I want it to hit the patrician's going to whiff. I think the question for me is whether it's worth probably not. I'd probably be okay on actions pretty much no matter what. Certainly the vassal play gets us to draw a little more. Okay, let's do it. Well, we can wait and see, right? Yeah, I don't know what I was smoking there. This is kind of a nice deck, which is like as surprising to me as it is, I'm sure, to all of you. Didn't find the second rats, which is a bummer. We can go for it, though it'll be adding, of course, a third rats. If I found the second rats here, it would have been more or less a perfect turn. He added a conclave last time. Still a very good turn. Basically, the question is whether I want to top deck another watchtower here. I think I'm about ready to get into the green. I wonder if there was a place where I should be like buying estates and just trashing them to battlefield. Of course, I can build more. The conclave thing becomes a bit fragile when you're not just top decking exactly what you want, for sure. I do have double province. I could also top deck a shepherd if I wanted to. I could top deck both things. Did he shuffle? What did he do? He's probably not getting to his mountain back again, though he might. I take it back. He probably is getting to his mountebank as long as he has another apothecary. Or like the rats or something. Hopefully he doesn't, but okay, that's nice. This is not great. Well, that was not ideal at all. Well, I got to give him a curse and copper. That part was pretty good. I'm not too upset about that part. Is he gonna start greening? I think his deck is just... I mean, it never hurts to have apothecaries in the deck, in any deck, basically. Like, they're always good. But it's still a little bit... hard to make it work with everything else. So he's building, and I don't know if that's going to pan out here, to be honest. So I don't really hit the conclave at a useful time. I can lose the silver. I could lose a number of things, to be honest. But definitely trash. Definitely take the curse. So conclave order didn't really work out very well for me, but that's about the worst draw I could get there. So this next turn is looking kind of awful. I hate to do this, but I feel like I have to. This deck, unfortunately, is still pretty messy. I don't mind trashing watchtowers, I guess, later on. They're not going to be bad targets for the rats. 2 7s hurts. I mean, I would love to have, 16 more points here. That's okay, though. You just get so little off these apothecaries now. If you don't find your conclaves at the start of your turn too, your turn kind of looks garbagey. I mean, I would be willing to lose the counterfeit here. I'm not really making use of the buy. I maybe should have just taken like duchies and trashed them on some of those turns. It's not clear to me. He gets to clean up a little bit. I'm hoping for him the rats thing is just like way too late. Like it's just more mess in his deck. But it's hard for me to say exactly how that's gonna go. Yeah, I'm willing to lose the counterfeit. Obviously not your perfect target for that, but I'm gonna go with don't play. I should have played some of these other cards out of hand first in case it was a watchtower. That was a misplay on my part, but it's okay. He's either gonna toss it, yeah. This is nice. If I can get I don't think the ghost ship really does much. Jeez. That's a lot of watchtowers. I would have rather not drawn them all at once, but that's fine. I don't really anticipate having a lot of estates. Sure, it doesn't really do anything for me. I guess the only question is, what do I have left, whether I need to draw on or not. I may be a little low on watchtowers. I wish I had that counterfeit still. Not really sure. This might be a little bit not great. I don't know if I have a watchtower in these in these bottom cards. If I do, then it's okay. Or it's okay-ish. It really matters. No, I guess bottom two isn't even enough here. I may just want to pass. Send these two down and pass. Because I can't necessarily draw through there. I'm not sure about it all, but okay, this should be all right. These apothecaries are just like cantrips that let you see the top of your deck. Like they're not. They're not really drawing. Well, this one drew. There's a lot of points on the board still, unfortunately. Perhaps fortunately, the piles are pretty low. So it's not all that bad. I don't know the order in which to play these things, really. This is all fine. Vassal on rats would be pretty bad. Sure. Now I just have like too much, basically. Or I went through too much of the deck, I guess is how I would describe it. Because now I've got like 3 provinces left in the bottom there. He's leaving a ghost ship on top. I feel like I need to didn't I already I'm confused. Oh, it's the same one. It's because I have 2 watchtowers. I was super confused. I could lose the conclave. Okay. The last cards are both provinces. Okay. Well, we got through the cleanness anyway. So we have 3 watchtowers. Right. This. Let's look at the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4 conclaves, 3 watchtowers, 1 patrician, too many stinking provinces. I don't know why I played that silver. 3 rats. Obviously, watchtower counters, quote, counters ghost ship far less than, say, it counters a militia or something. Since you just redraw the garbage. He had 4 stock cards on top, so he drew an Apothecary. So unless he drew additional draw cards, his turn is probably stopping with a ghost ship play. I'm still not very okay. He didn't play the ghost ship. It would have been immaterial either way. From my perspective. So this is all pretty nice for me, this part of the draw anyway. Okay, so we're gonna make it through. I don't really have anything to trash. There's a lot of rats though, so I think we want to draw on. I don't think these cards we've got left here are really the ones we want. Except now I have a conclave and a watchtower as my bottom 2, so I will leave those for sure. That's nice. Give him the last curses. So I think basically, assuming I don't just make it to the end here on provinces, I'm gonna have a lot of turns in which I can just buy estates and, like, you know, gain rats to finish it out. I don't think buying estates or buying a watchtower. So I'm gonna have a lot of turns. He's not gonna suddenly score a huge number of points on any of his turns because his deck's kind of horribly messy. Of course, I had an incredibly nice draw in my last turn to bottom deck Conclave Watchtower, which is just sort of crazy lucky. I guess if he plays the ghost ship, I probably will go down to I guess I have to just start by playing a watchtower. So something with a conclave and a watchtower in my hand. He may end up finishing the rats off for me. Either way, it's going to be an easy pile to run. And then I just have to either empty the estates or the watchtowers. He can buy duchies, but that's pretty... It's not going to play particularly nicely with his deck. Obviously, if I had been able to, I would have kept all four and got down to a single card watchtower, but this is all I can really do here is play the watchtower. I mean, I'll get to play the mountebank as well. But so if we find a vassal or another conclave or the silver, then we'll get to 8. But otherwise, I mean, if he's going to try and score using the estates, he's going to have an issue with piles. Because I'll certainly buy an estate on my turn if I don't manage to... Like, I don't know what this does as far as getting him closer to a win in, like, any universe, I guess. Is my not so kind way of putting it. So if I play the rats, there's a chance I get to draw a little bit more. Of course, it could be quite bad. We have to see. We can afford to lose the patrician. We can honestly afford to lose the province. But we'll say no to that. So this isn't quite there unless the... This is all the watchtowers as well. This isn't quite there unless the vassal finds a conclave, then it works. But could find a rat, which wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Let's try to find a conclave. Well, this also works, right, for buying a province. I just have to toss a watchtower or a province. I mean, at this point, it's not the craziest thing to do the province, but so now I just need essentially 4 turns to buy out the estates, or 3 turns to buy the watchtower, whichever I go with. Of course, the estates are much easier. I need 1 of my economy cards. The watchtowers all require 2 of my economy cards. So it looks like I might be getting some coppers here soon. He pretty much has to get duchies. If he could double duchy, that would be something. That's not the easiest thing in the world. So this was, I kind of wanted a, go ship play. Of course, I can take duchies. That's not really gonna do a huge amount for me. I could buy conclaves as well, which would increase the chances of certain things. Did I trash another watch? Yeah, I probably need to just take the... It's not clear to me, I guess. I have lots of silver equivalents, so I probably will get there in the 4 turns. But obviously 3 turns is nicer, but I can whiff on the watchtower, or I could whiff a little bit more easily on the this is already kind of close to like a province hand, actually, so that's something. Though again, I kind of have to play conclave into watchtower first. Obviously, this would work a lot better if I had a counterfeit. At this point now, it's clearly estates, though. You might get to double duchy here. He can't take estates. It just doesn't work. Yeah, he can try to dig for the emporiums. That's reasonable. If the vassal finds something, it would have been kind of the nice one to play, but as it is, this is probably a little safer. This is already province, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. No, I don't like his deck there. I don't. I feel like I maybe left a little bit on the board as far as building. I might have greened a little bit too soon, but I don't like his deck. This is like Den and Witch, I guess, and maybe, well, the vampire is probably pretty nice because of the amount of 5s you can get. On the other hand, there's some interactions here. Horn looks awful, Wine Merchant looks awful, Bishop looks pretty awful, Island looks pretty situational, and all the rest I can kind of imagine getting at some point. You could open Island. That's not, I wouldn't say that's crazy here. You know, you can do Treasure Trove with Vault. Den of Sin, of course, doesn't work against Haunted Woods, but the Haunted Woods themselves are a little underwhelming. Like you would get some mileage out of your den still. They wouldn't Haunted Woods you every single turn. That's for sure. Vampire, of course, vampire bat, of course, have a similar problem. That they lose a little bit to Haunted Woods. So I guess if someone goes heavy into the Vampire Den of Sin thing, you can just start buying Haunted Woods. Do like Haunted Woods Treasure Trove or something. That probably loses to something which is a little more witch focused. Of course, you can. I kind of feel like to get the 5s is so important that you can't afford to take the island on the opening. I'm not really all that confident of that. Like, it's not unreasonable. But so he goes with the vampire. So if I weren't vampire or Haunted Woods doesn't hurt bats so much because a lot of times when you play the bat, you won't really have a buy to make anyways. And then the vampire play, you probably will just play the vampire. What it might get in the way of is the dens a little more since you're playing them all the time. Though of course you just top deck them until they don't have a Haunted Woods. So that's maybe a problem. But if they always have a Haunted Woods, then it's a little different. A lot of good 5s here. So he gets the second vampire, which is fine. I get diluted, which is fine because I can't afford anything anyway. Den of Sin, of course, is a little bit, as I said, all of it is somewhat sensitive to the Haunted Woods attack. I'm basically just banking on the fact, maybe not a fact, banking on the idea that the Haunted Woods will not maybe pan out quite so well. Appears to be my strategy right now, since I'm going heavy into the dens. What did I hit him with a locust? So I gave him a curse there, that's fine. So I would have, of course, loved for my bat to hit some estates, but this is fine too. I may want a treasure trove at some point. Has he played his islands? He hasn't played any of his islands. So that's kind of in the middle of his deck. He'll probably get to play one on his next turn, I would imagine. I guess you could do horns. You probably can get to 5 cards sometimes, or fairly often. I don't know. You can't wait that long on greening here, because, like, what are you waiting for? On the other hand, you can wait a little bit. There, he got an island down. That's a little sad. And also they go in the discard. That's pretty sad. Poverty. That may actually, I may feel that one on this turn. I didn't quite feel it. Did not quite feel it. So he's got the Haunted Woods now, which I think is quite right to get. Haunting isn't quite as nice as Poverty, probably. I don't know. He did not get to hit me with Haunted Woods there. He's got a lot of silver. I'm not as in love with that. Please draw a bat. Please draw a bat. Please draw like Witch and Bat. Or Vault and Bat. Something. Okay, this is pretty nice. He gets his second Haunted Woods. Okay. Alright. I didn't get to play the Witch or Bat. But I will get to on this turn. And I'll probably just play the Treasure Trove and buy nothing. No, I have Province. I'll buy a Province. Well, okay, that's not so clear to me. Versus playing the Bat and the Den. Well, they'll go on top of my deck, I guess. Yeah, I think I'll take it. And then do the pass on this turn, I guess. Yeah, this is reasonable. That's okay, I can lose the silver, I guess. So fortunately I don't have a wine merchant, otherwise I'd be reasonably good at threatening double provinces. See if he finds his Haunted Woods here. I would, of course, love for him not to, and I would love to draw 2 Dens of Sin. I'm gonna be pretty good at duchy dancing here. Of course, he'll have his vampire, so he'll be reasonably good at duchy dancing as well. He didn't play a Haunted Wood, so this is all quite nice. Because I'm gonna find either the Witch or the Vault. I guess I'll find the Vault. And I'll probably play the Vault just to get the stuff out of my hands. Maybe the Witch is gone. Did the Witch probably got flipped with War. I wasn't really paying that good of attention. So in theory, the In theory, I guess I'll leave the silver and witch on top. That seems okay. It might hit if I find a golds. And if not, it will... What's envious? Ooh, envious hurts here. Okay, so I'm definitely not provincing, but he did not... No, he did play Haunted Woods here. I guess I wouldn't have provinced anyway. So I really don't have much except I could buy an island. Is the only thing. I would have loved to find the Dens of Sin this turn, since then I could have played them. Or a Den of Sin even would have been nice. So then I would have been able to pass on that. I do have 5, so I could buy like a vault or something, though it would be, of course, making this next turn pretty bad, most likely. This is a question of whether these 2 cards worth of cycling is gonna like really kill me here, versus say not having the vault. So it's not great, because I still didn't find any I assume he has 8. I still didn't find any dens. I didn't find any dens, which is a real bummer. Maybe I just didn't have them. Maybe I already played them. Here I will top deck the gold, I guess, with the province. Can put the gold on top with the vampire. There's 2 coppers on top. That's not a nice bad omens. That bad omens I feel a little bit. I guess I'd better attack him. Miserable is not awful. Though his play, or his path to victory, looks pretty clean here. Fortunately, he couldn't take the province. This is just the worst. To get the 2 vaults together in this fat deck is really awful. I'm gonna have to take province. Like, there's no way around it. He may even have a win here, depending on what the... I mean, if he has two vampires, Okay, he doesn't have 2 vampires. But anyway, if one of the vampire plays gave out a curse, then he would just win. So that's not great for me. I guess he couldn't take the duchy because that would be losing. He doesn't actually have a great turn coming up. So I'm going to take the province for sure. Well, obviously. He still may have a finish on whatchamacallit. This is all kind of unfortunate. He didn't play a haunted woods, so I can't top deck the gold. I couldn't anyway. He's gonna see a little bit more of his deck. I've got a reasonably good shot of hitting. Oh, he's 4 silver. Well, that. I guess I did not expect that. I forgot all those silvers he had bought. That's funny. Alright, so last one, he's up by 1, 2, 3, 2. We can still pull a tie, which is sort of our typical result during the regular season. Hopefully that's what happens, but if not, then so be it. There's not. Just 1 second. So fountain probably reasonably good here. There's not a great, I mean, the only good sort of disciple teacher target is nobles, and everything else is kind of awful. The only other thing you could maybe do is like storeroom library. If you could get don't think it works since they're both terminals, though. I don't feel like you can get the actions. Otherwise, that would be maybe a nice thing. Plus, card on Linehouse isn't especially interesting. Of course, you can do Overlord double token thing, which would be pretty nice. That just takes quite a long time. I mean, you have some time here. There's a lot of points. Yeah, I'm just not sure what the decks look like. You can't do Overlord as a Nobles, right? So that never really pans out to anything. On the other hand, the deck that has eight Nobles with tokens on them is just gonna win. Like, doesn't matter if the rest is a little underwhelming, it's just gonna win. There's too many points here, I think. Probably. So I'm thinking about Silver Note Peasant, then probably a couple more peasants on the only thing I guess I'm considering double peasant, actually. Boy, it sure is not a very exciting board. I just think the money is fine, but not good enough to get all the points that you need here. I think the engine is fine, but kind of slow. Or really slow, maybe. It's a better way to think of it. I kind of want to do peasant. Just to guarantee getting on the train. The traveler train. The hard thing will be getting the nobles. I'm actually like fully willing to go for 4 peasants here. I'm not going to go for that many, but I'll probably do peasant lighthouse again here. I could do guardian for the spikiness of the money, but he gets an overlord. I don't know what overlord does. Like, I don't know what you're playing the overlord as on this board to go that far into debt. That's what I don't see. I'm also willing to like have fugitives. Like, they're okay in this deck, I think. This will be my 5th traveler. Yeah, I can live with it. I'm not gonna buy an overlord for those points. I think I want to, hopefully I'll hit my 6 on this turn here. Actually, I have 8, but 6 is good too. Hopefully he doesn't attack me, so I can get another nobles. He's moving a little faster. I'm not actually sure why. Maybe I just had some bad shuffles. My shuffles were fine. He's definitely getting a disciple in the deck before me. The buys here are just so underwhelming. I dislike the Overlord again, but whatever. Okay. I'm gonna take one now though. So this may cost me something, but could play it as a Baron, though that wouldn't be great because I don't really want a Baron in my deck. It's not a very good disciple target. Oh, you get to do it as different things. Never mind. Oh, no, you don't. He played two separate ones. He did get up to a nobles there. So I could cycle here. Potentially whiffing on some stuff. But getting the teacher in the deck. Or I can play it as like a bandit or something. So that was pretty much the nightmare draw for me as far as what seeing the travelers. So maybe I was just really stupid to do it at all. Could have been like a bandit, maybe would have been better, but, or even the lighthouse was fairly safe. But that was pretty much. It does get me to the teacher sooner, but it's still pretty bad, I think. I think I'm at the point where I'm passing on buys at $2. Let's see, soldiers me. I'm gonna be able to get a nobles. Cobbler I'm just not feeling particularly. Yes. Obviously I'd love to hit the this is a really nice turn for him. Or a pretty nice turn for him. He doesn't have any disciples yet, huh? That's interesting. He must have drawn a bunch of his travelers with this. Yeah. Or some of them anyway. This will be pretty nice for him. Should be anyway. Oh, I just totally whiffed on him getting the teacher. That's why he doesn't have the disciple. I missed that. I think it's premature to take the coppers. But it's like, it's alright. It's not the worst thing. You do need them. I mean, you're going to have to get the coppers before the end. Whether it's worth it to get the labyrinth points, I'm a little... There's not really a 3 pile. Like, we're going to get into the provinces here, I'm pretty sure. This is excellent. Depending exactly on what happens here. So action on storeroom, that's interesting. I mean, with him, hopefully we get to the teacher. It's gonna really suck if we don't. So he took the split on the labyrinth. This doesn't really do anything for me. Oh wait, yeah, okay. Yeah. I would have cried. I would have actually cried. But this is perfect. Yeah, for me, the coppers can just come later. It's not at all necessary to have them right now. The only question is whether I want another overlord. I think I'm going to pass on it. So I like having 5 or 6 of the nobles, whatever I have, with plus action on it, much better than his deck. That doesn't mean I'm going to win, because there's still a lot of draws to get through. But I prefer my current situation, for sure. There's not a lot more building I can do, so I can start taking the provinces. The only thing that I will need to probably get is another overlord. But other than that, it's not a huge deal. Doesn't feel like to me like he has the number. If he had more nobles, he could make this storeroom library thing work a little better, I think. But as it is, I'm just not seeing it. I guess I should look for a pile out. Doesn't seem terribly likely, but if there were one, it would involve the storerooms. Did he play a lighthouse? I do get to hit him. I guess I just am the only one with disciples right now. I'll go up to 3 this turn. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything else to do here, but kind of draw through and see what we can play. It's probably not impossible for me to set something up. Do I I just have 2 lighthouses? I guess I can alternate them. I am going to be sensitive to whether I start with a nobles in hand, so if I can set that up, for sure want to. I don't know that there's really a way to do it though. Unless I have even another one. No, I don't think so. Okay, so I misdrew this a little bit. I could have had another $1, but it's okay. I played that as lighthouse even though I kind of said I wouldn't. I have a fair bit of money. I do need to get on that copper train. Whether I need to get on it immediately is another question. I would feel better about the overlords here if they were. Maybe I will take one more. Keep, exchange. He doesn't have a disciple. He will next turn. I need to get at least along my way to the coppers this time, if not finish them. Because then he'll be able to start threatening 3 pounds. It depends on how much he scores. I mean, so we'll just have to see. He might get his teacher on the mat this time, which may give him a little better pile control. He's not putting out that much money. Is the big thing. He didn't go for the coppers there. So I can go down with the storerooms. I can take can take 3 actions here and then do storeroom, discard everything, and library drawing. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to draw on with the storeroom because this is all garbage anyway. If I draw on, I'm likely to find disciples and things that are a little more awkward. And I would rather just have those in hand anyway. Yeah, I'll keep that. Certainly I'll keep that. So unfortunately here I've not found a disciple yet. Okay, here we are. So this is a little bit nicer. I don't know what my capabilities are as far as getting a pile out here. I can probably get pretty close. The buys are the issue. I need a lot of money too. So he didn't get to play his teacher. I would rather finish now if I can get a finish, but I don't know that that's possible. So I would be getting Storm, give it to 5 buys. And hopefully discipling another Storm. Just get me up to... There's just a lot of garbage in the... in the trash there. And I would need, shoot, need like $19. I probably have that. The storeroom would need Alright, so we tied again, which is, I think, what we've done like the last 3 seasons or something in these regular matches. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later.